Thank you, folks, and thank you so much for a chance to be with you again. I was visiting back with somebody who I got to know literally as a grantee, and I'm thrilled to see Senator Harris Wofford here with us again. Can you give Senator Wofford a round of applause? Service is an incredibly powerful force for our nation, for our communities, for us individually. And it is, in my view, the most powerful force we've got in a country that badly needs what you're doing. Whether it's Senator Wofford, who was one of the real leaders in the movement for volunteerism and service for his entire adult life, or it's folks in this room who've come together from across the country for whom this might be your very first conference, this might be your first year serving as a commissioner or as a grantee. I just wanted to briefly encourage you with the message that what you've got is what America needs. Service is bipartisan. In a town that is riven by partisanship, where we're having difficulty passing a resolution saying that today's Monday when it's Monday and that it's Friday when it's Friday, something that brings together Republicans and Democrats, North and South, black and white, gay and straight, folks who are from the religious community and folks who are not rooted in faith in their activity, folks of all possible backgrounds, have come together in service because it is at the core of what it means to be an American, is a willingness to step up and take action and fix things in our communities with some facilitating help or support from government, whether it's federal or state or local, but the drive, the energy, the persistence, and the impact is by individuals in service to their community. As Wendy mentioned in her brief introduction, I first got involved through something called the I Have a Dream Foundation. I was working for a guy named Gene Lang in Manhattan, and I actually, through an acquaintance, Clara Shin, got asked to be a grant reviewer for the summer of service at the end of the Bush administration, something that predated the creation of CNCS. And spending a whole week locked in a hotel room reading stacks and stacks of papers somehow made me think this was a good thing to get involved in. But I was working for this terrific nonprofit that helped kids in tough neighborhoods all over America, many of them in housing projects, but all of them in some of the worst and most challenged schools in the whole country. And we were really struggling as a nonprofit to engage and motivate and sustain the volunteers we needed for our kids. And I came back from that experience and said to Gene Lang, this is the program, this is the model, this is the partnership that can allow 15 of our locals around the country to really grow, to invest in staff development, to multiply, to reach out and to bring in a whole new generation of folks who will be mentors and tutors and will help build community around these important centers of these I Have a Dream chapters. And he thought I was crazy. So I locked myself in another small windowless room with a half dozen friends, and we did nothing for a week except write a grant application. I think we filed it less than a minute before the deadline. I was 24 years old. I'd never written $1 million federal grant in my life and really had no idea exactly what I was doing. Thankfully, neither did the corporation at the time because it was brand new. You've heard this used many, many times before, but it really was flying a plane that we were building while we were flying it. And the great thing was then for me the chance to do the national trainings and to go to all the sites and to wrestle through what all this compliance and paperwork meant, but to be inspired and challenged by our teams across the country. You know, for my father, service in the United States Army as a sergeant was his first experience of really being an American, of being responsible for and serving with a group of, at that point, all men, who were from all different backgrounds and races, education levels, and geographies. It was his first experience of feeling what it meant to be engaged in national service. And I'll never forget a young woman who was part of our corps out west in Portland, Oregon. We were in Estes Park in Colorado doing our corps training before they went out to do it. And she said, you know, this is the most patriotic I've ever felt in my life, and I don't even have a gun. I was stunned at the range and reach of our AmeriCorps members, and I mean no disrespect to the whole reach of the service family to wear my AmeriCorps pin, but that was the one that I came through. And in that service, I got to see just how powerful the experience was for our members, young and old, We had some who had PhDs, we had some who had GEDs. We had some who were moms in public housing who were using their year of service to inspire their own kids and to stabilize and improve their own lives. We had others who were searching for themselves after years of wandering through academia and lives of privilege. It was a remarkable twinning of folks from very diverse backgrounds in a common cause, which was helping improve schools and kids in America's neighborhoods. But I also saw some of the real challenges that AmeriCorps faced at the time in its earliest years, and I weighed in and was happy to be enlisted to be one of the folks who came to Washington and stood up and argued in behalf of this young and positive program. I'll never forget Eli Siegel, someone who touched me personally and who was a great model of what you can do to be a positive contributor out of your own success in life to the success of others. Well, not long thereafter, I actually was appointed to the commission. I was a commissioner in Delaware. And one of the things I say every time I get a chance to be engaged in a national service event is don't overlook how positive and experienced service can be, whether as a grantee, a member, or a commissioner, because it was through that commission that I met my wife. So the single greatest gift in my life has come through AmeriCorps and through my service with the commission in Delaware. We had a lot of, oh, thank you. She is. It was awkward initially figuring out how I would ever actually ask her out. 3 different times I came home to Delaware from New York and dropped by her office for a conversation about service over a cup of coffee. Before, as ever, being the person to drive us towards a decision, she looked at me and said, "Buster, you ever going to actually ask me out here?" Needing that permission. Service unites. Bringing us together in appropriate and positive ways. But you know, it was a wonderful opportunity for me to meet someone whose heart was committed to service and to change. Although from a different place and a different background, from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, although I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. And it was the beginning of a wonderful and positive life together. Those who served on the commission with us at that time really made a difference in our lives, and we hope we gave back effectively as a couple to them. I've seen AmeriCorps and I've seen the corporation grow and change and mature. And one of the things that I found most fulfilling was in my next role as an elected county executive to go all up and down my state and to listen to the community of folks who serve and volunteer, and to realize that our oldest and most established network of volunteers in my state, our volunteer firefighters, had a classic problem, a failure to recruit new members. They had great firehouses, they had great fire equipment, they had great standards and traditions and history, but their numbers were steadily declining, in part because of a culture that was rooted in a time when more people came in than you knew what to do with, and so you could haze them, winnow them, push them back, and then you would get just the best. In today's world, we ask more volunteer firefighters than we ever have in terms of training and standards, and the demands on young families are different. And frankly, the distractions available to young men and women are quite different than they were when the fire companies were established. And so, working in partnership with the YMCA and with the Commission in Delaware, we created a program to help multiply the number of folks recruited into volunteerism through our fire service, which is a great way to root young men and women of all backgrounds into a lifetime of service. That gave me an opportunity to see AmeriCorps all over again from a different perspective. And I'll close with this. What I think is exciting for you about today is to be part of the next wave of national service. This is at the root of what it means to be American. Whether it was in the Civilian Conservation Corps or in VISTA, whether it was in Peace Corps or in the reinvention of AmeriCorps, whether it's the new partnerships that Wendy has done, I think, a remarkable job of crafting with federal agencies, whether it's FEMA or it's STEM or it's the National Guard partnership that we talked about when she came to Delaware, leveraging the reach and scope of the national government and the power of volunteerism and communities together is exciting to me and is something that I look forward to fighting for in my role here in Washington. I am someone who commutes from my home state every day. There's not a lot of senators who can do that. But in my view, it helps keep me grounded in the community that I'm from, the folks who hired me and sent me here. And one of the most common values in Delaware, as it is across the country, is the value we place on local leadership, on local initiative, and on local volunteerism to help heal the gaps in our country that need tending to and to help lay the groundwork for a stronger and more blessed community going forward. I am so grateful for you, for what you do each and every day. Don't hesitate to invite your federal electeds. Bring in your congressman and your senator. Bring in your lieutenant governor and governor. Give them a paintbrush and a t-shirt and a day not to give a brief speech and then run off, but give them a day to experience what you're doing. Honestly, it's a gift. We need encouragement. We need to see the difference that volunteerism and service makes, and my colleagues need to be reminded of the leveraging, compounding value of what you're doing in our home states and home communities day in and day out. On the days I've been able to, as county executive or a senator, speak to AmeriCorps members, speak to senior volunteers, speak to VISTA volunteers, when I've been able to do service projects, when I've been able to visit and see its actual impact in the classroom or in the community, it's been the best days I've had in public service and public life. So don't be shy about reaching out and asking us in. It's how I can help best leverage for you, your leadership at home through real connectivity here in the Congress. You've got a clear vision. You've got an important mission, and you've got what America needs. Thank you, God bless you, and enjoy a great conference today.